All right. And we are live. The last word, Lord Cognito, Ebontis, Ty Guy, Travis, fresh on that Thursday evening season of The Haunted Campfire. Ebontis, how you doing, sir?
Doing good. Waiting even more for tomorrow, but we'll get to that. Yeah, it's been a week. It was, what was it, Monday night, I think, technically, when all the chaos basically began, and I think it was Japanese PlayStation that leaked the trailer, and then they just hit the premiere button on their YouTube, and everybody went running. It did work, because I got to do, videos and looking at stuff, like, before, sleep what I wanted to, and then get up and play, so I didn't have to, like, try and cram analyzing everything in 3 hours, so I was okay with that. But other than that, pretty much just, 100% Season of the Haunted. What about you, Travis?
Well, every season is Season of the Haunted for me, because I'm so haunted by my past actions and.
What you do?
I don't even know what you're saying.
You didn't even know where he was going.
Yeah, like, that bit did not. Travis is usually good at just like coming up with stuff on the fly. That bit did not come together.
He was going so dark, he didn't know where he was going.
That bit didn't even come together. That's fine.
I didn't know.
That's
but you know what? Sometimes it's more funny when it doesn't come together, or maybe that was my whole point. I'm going to say it was intentional. So yeah, McClunky, everyone. Welcome to our show. Welcome to the last word with Ty Guy Travis and his co-hosts Ebontis and Lord Cognito.
And that guy.
and that guy. I was going to say, today's got to be a good day for you, because I've seen Star Wars stuff on my feed like all day. Are you like...
Yeah, man. Bunch of Star Wars stuff going on. I have a bunch of content coming out in the next couple days and weeks. Had a preview go live today. I think I have another one going live tomorrow or Monday or something. And yeah, man, I'm a content machine out here. Yeah, it's good times. How about you, E? How you doing? What's life like?
Yeah, what's up, E? How are you doing?
Your state, which I will simply just refer to it as your state. This week.
Yeah.
What's life? How are things?
I am lucky enough to be at least geographically far away from that, but
nice.
Yeah, not a fan of my state mostly. Obviously, there are some bright moments where you hear about in the news, but most of it has been very, very tragic and awful. When last week we're talking about a terrible tragedy that happened up north in Cog State, and then now we're down here talking about a tragedy of more, which doesn't matter on the number, they're all awful, but another one, and this was now kids in a classroom, and just the more you're getting out of the news, it's terrible, and...
Heartbreaking.
Yeah, like, I mean, 19 kids, and the 2 adults as well, like, 21 people lost their lives in 45 minutes, and it's terrible, but it was just like, it's that many kids. I mean, how many kids went to school that day, and now the parents are not having that kid come home? I cannot honestly fathom. So, no, not great, and it's just one of those things where just some of the rhetoric that's going on, some of the stuff you've seen for senators on the House floor and things like that, and I hate to cover this first, but the idea is, like, when is ever going to be the time to take action? People say don't make it political and all these other things. It's just like something
Which is crazy to me.
Yeah, it's like it's that the whole thing is it is that way. It has become a political thing because of years and years and years of what's been kind of pushed. And for me, it's just terrible sitting here. It's like I'm very sheltered in my home, not having to deal with any of this, not in any of these places, and very lucky. But the more you see this and the more it's just constant. And the fact that it just seems to be getting worse year after year, it's been the past like 4 or 5 years, it's been just almost exponential. At some point, something's got to change, and it's just sad if it doesn't happen sooner than later. And unfortunately, just the way the government is set up, I even saw somebody just, giving the president a hard time. The way the parties are set up right now, the way the Senate is set up, not a lot of people can do anything, and it's really terrible.
Yeah.
Awful
situation.
The way I've been thinking about it, and I hate to make this about like us gamers, but the way I think about it as gamers is like,
it's like tread carefully.
Whatever you think about gun rights, which, I'm a guy who thinks some people probably can have guns and we could be okay. But I think as gamers, we can all agree you got to balance your sandbox a little bit. And I think we can agree maybe the AR-15 deserves a nerf. You know what I mean? Like,
yo,
I mean, if we're this is a gaming show, right? Let's bring it back to gaming. If think of the AR-15 like Telesto, right?
That archetype.
It's doing some stuff it probably wasn't designed to do. The sandbox is all out of whack. It's just common sense, right? You gotta nerf some stuff. That's my
that one needs vaulted.
Yeah, it needs to be vaulted, maybe.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a weird situation, but
yeah, man. I mean, it's awful. It's awful, and at the end of the day, it's just like I'm just so from where I'm from. Sadly, I've become so desensitized because it just continues to happen. So it's just like, you know, I don't know what it's going to take, and I don't want to go left with, you know, this whole situation. But yeah, you know, when the news broke and I saw some accounts and just gut-wrenching stuff, heartbreaking stuff, you know, parents and their children and losing them in that manner and the actions that was taken and not taken. So we got a long way to go on this sandbox. You know what I'm saying? We got a long way to go. They gonna have to sunset some things.
There needs to be some sunsetting, some vaulting. Yep, it needs to happen.
In Destiny context, correct. Yep. Like Travis said.
So that's a way to phrase it. Yeah. Hope you guys pick up what we're putting down. Cool. If you don't agree, everybody's allowed to have, you know, different opinions. But yeah, at this point, it's like if you guys saw Steve Kerr literally at the press conference of the NBA playoff game, just nothing about basketball, just lost. Like, just said, it's like, what is it going to take? When is it going to be enough? All of those things. It's all of that type of stuff at this point, nothing seems like nothing can get done right now. There's a couple bills that are literally sitting. I learned this from all the news that came out, that are just sitting in the Senate and won't get voted on. And we want to know why. It's like, you can go into it, but it's just all of those. Nothing seems to have been done. And it's just really sad to see the stagnant state of things. And it just keeps happening. So hopefully we don't get one soon, but the way the statistics of the numbers are going, because man, I hope not.
Yeah. What's the definition of insanity? Repeating the same things, expecting different results.
Yep. Yeah, it's like, how long is it going to take? So, yeah, I was like, there's different debates and numbers and facts. You can go into all the news and do your own research. So that's one of the biggest things. Like, whichever way you lean, do research before you're just like, hey, do this or that or the other. Try and do your own research and come to a decision that has some facts behind it, not just what you hear on one station or what you hear on another, because everything tends to lean one direction. Try and gather your own information and make a coherent decision and have proper information before you just say, hey, I was told this one thing, I'm going to believe that 100%. That's it. Go out there, do some research, figure out what, you know, the facts are, and then try and go from there.
No doubt.
Well, that being said, since apparently we're going to start every week with just a terrible tragedy to cover, hopefully not. Yeah, Monday night, stuff exploded. Now, the goal, from what I gathered from Twitter, was they were going to drop the trailer a few hours before launch. And I saw Gary Clay, I think he is marketing. I'd have to look him up on Twitter. I've followed him forever. Oh, Senior Director of Marketing and Sales at Bungie. Okay, yeah, it wasn't far off. He basically said a few hours is as close as they can get before things get spoiled and published by consoles and platforms and other things, because it has to at that point. They have to update store pages and things like that tend to happen. So a few hours before is what they were shooting for. We got about, 18 hours before. I was literally upstairs watching dinner and hanging out with my wife and just chilling. I was like, all right, everything's going to happen tomorrow. And I look on Twitter and it just seems like chaos is happening. I was like, oh God. So I was like, all right, dinner's over. I got to go work. And went downstairs and took care of all that stuff, streamed. A whole bunch of people tuned in for it. So thank you guys. And yeah, so we got trailer, website update. It all just showed up at the same time. So before we even get to our experience playing it, I just wanted to see what you guys thought did you like the marketing, the attempt at waiting to a few hours before, even if it did break early? Would you have liked to have seen it that close? Would you rather have had Solar 3.0 last week? Where do you guys feel this marketing cycle theoretically could have gone outside of course, like it dropping early? Where do you think it could have gone and should have gone now that you have, some more information?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's funny because I'm indifferent still. Because what I realize is this: it doesn't matter when they drop it. I just see people lose their minds, and it's just a testament to Bungie's marketing and the way they do a trailer and the way they showcase stuff. Because there's a part of me that I was like, all right, what are they gonna do? There's the secrecy behind it, and then there's another part of me that's just like, it really doesn't matter because they're just so good. Someone on Twitter said to you, shout out to my boy Slow Mo Backstab, who's kind of a Destiny hater, and he had like, I thought was like the tweet of he was kind of like, I need to be a part of Bungie's, marketing team because he said, I could see Destiny fans be as angry as they were about the state of the game. But when that trailer drops, all is forgiven and Bungie knows how to get us back. And it's just like, it's like psychological clockwork. I see Leviathan, I get the feels, I see hell. We'll get into all that stuff. But to your question, I'm
doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter when they drop a trailer because when they drop it, it's on regardless. But Trav, where you at? Do you think did it have that effect for you, or would you prefer them show it early?
I think the reason they didn't show it early is because they thought that that they thought there might be a little bit of a backlash. Personally, we talked about this last week about how when you don't show a trailer, it's either because you're super confident or because you don't want to show what you've got. And I think we had all speculated that based on Bungie's reaction that they were super hyped for the season and that it was going to be a much bigger season than we thought. And now that I've played it, I'm starting to wonder if maybe it was the other. So that's where I'm at. I'm starting to wonder if maybe they didn't show it because it's a reused area. It's a lot of kind of, twiddling their thumbs. They brought back the what do you call it? No, the ghosts, the phantoms, the
nightmares
from the moon.
The nightmares from the moon, which like a lot of people did not like in Shadowkeep.
Mm-hmm.
So I was sort of wondering if maybe it was a strategic decision of like, hey, look, let's not get them too hyped. Let's just sort of like keep it, and then that way when they get to play it, they'll be like, hey, this is great because I didn't have that hype buildup. But I wonder if them not showing anything had the opposite effect, and maybe they didn't intend that because them not showing anything made Destiny stands be like, oh, well, then this is going to be way bigger than anybody expects. And then when it came out, it was sort of the opposite. And so I'm wondering if them not showing anything meant that people's imaginations sort of got ahead of them, and we got our hopes really, really built up for a season that so far, just my experience is kind of shallow, just from what I've played so far. So anyway, that's where I'm at, but we'll get into the actual stuff. But my reaction when I saw the marketing was, okay, we'll see. And then I played it like a couple hours later, and I was like, maybe I get why they weren't trying to hype this up too much. So,
where you at?
I mean, I enjoyed the trailer. I was digging in and looking through it. I'm at the point to where seeing everything we got, it'd be a point where you could do like tiny teases. You could, you could like have a picture of like an arc and a solar thing, and then just slowly like, like pan it like different ways in different like little tweets and stuff. You could show little clips of like, little pieces here and there, something that looks like maybe the Glycon, which we'll get to in a minute, but would carry over a little bit more. You'd be like, oh, they're going maybe. I think they could have done a little bit without giving basically anything away. But I think they could have given us just a little more of a tease. I said a little tease, like there's no, but I mean, but again, to build like a little bit, 5-second little teaser here. Like 10-second little baby thing here, like little stuff to like build the anticipation even more. We were all waiting, but we had nothing. Then if you built it a little more, then they could have. But I mean, Travis said too, is like they may have known what they have. And honestly, it's like seeing what the narrative team did.
Yeah.
So far, I will say the narrative team is 100% happy to be hyped, and I see why. From playing the first mission, from seeing what kind of happened so far, I totally get what they're doing, and I'm kind of excited to see where it goes because so far, just in the first week, the acting and stuff so far is crushing it. That's what I've thoroughly enjoyed. Real quick before I forget, Necromancer Zeal. Cabal and Cattle are back. Cabal and the Helm, loving Solar 3.0. Great season so far. Thank you for the $10 super chat. Appreciate that. But yeah, that was... I think it's a balance of what they have. Again, now we know Arc 3.0 is coming, so there's no like keeping that a secret when it comes to season 18. So that's going to be maybe shown off a little bit more. Maybe you could be like, hey, like say Solar 3.0. Okay, it's like keeping that, close to the vest or not, I don't think that could have made or break either way. But now, say when you get to season 18, learn from this one and say, okay, here's one fragment. Think about what you could do with this one type thing. Like, here's one or two. Tease one fragment, tease one aspect, and do like a little bit. Don't show the whole deck of cards, but show a little here and there, and like in the lead up, and be like, hey, we're not going to show you all of Arc 3.0 because you all know it's coming. But here's a couple things to like, get your brain running.
Yeah, they used to do stuff like that before. I think they used to. They used to be like in a TWAB, they'd give you like, hey, here's a little sample of whatever. I remember them doing stuff.
And you could like even just show a demo of like one thing working in like a little baby, Twitter video or something. But just a balance of overall, like, I'm okay with how it went down. I appreciate it personally, like for making content that I didn't have to like try and get up early, try and cram it all in. Like I had one video done, then had another one go up like the next morning because I broke down the trailer and then the website, and I was able to space it out. So for me, at least a day helps, just covering it. And for anybody who wants to cover it, a little bit of like preview is beneficial to that one. 3 hours before is barely enough time to like analyze it, figure out what's important to cover, and then actually make a video, post the video, and then play. So on that sense, I would say thanks for the leak early. I'll take 18, 24 hours. It doesn't have to be like 3 weeks in advance. I need to know that Arc 3.0 are coming and we're going to the Dreaming City to fix the loop or whatever for season 18. I don't want to know all that stuff, but like, 24 hours before, that's fine. I'm good with that. That's cool. Like, so that's kind of my take on the marketing piece, and kind of takes us into the next piece. When you guys logged in, what did you guys think of basically the first little cinematic that something I wondered about for a very long time about one of our little social spaces? It moved. So we've got a spaceship now. Thoughts?
Yeah. Look, I know the joke is a reused asset. I get it.
I was talking about the helm.
Oh, my bad. You talking about the hell? I thought you were talking about the Leviathan. No, yeah, that was cool. I was like, all right, we mobile command center. Yeah. Like, no doubt. Like, let's get it. Like, that's how it should be theoretically with all these threats, universal threats, paracausal threats. You know what I'm saying? Like, and now with the alliances, because let's be honest, I've always felt as much as they're doing these cool things with alliance, I always felt it's a bit much to have the alien races just running around and that's just me.
Falling in the towers, like, yeah, you're like, all right, fine. But like a cabal walking around the tower would be like, whoa.
Yeah, like, bro, it's a little much. Like, we've been slaughtering each other for centuries. Like, you need to be isolated in this little governmental mobile command center thing where we getting our UN.
Vanguard government. All right, let's see what we're doing here.
Yeah, listen, we got to do, Lakshmi was on to something. You got to be careful you letting the tower these days. I'm just joking. But at the end of the day, I thought it was a good decision that the helm was where the helm was. And I like that it's kind of, they're like government. They're doing things. The citizens kind of know, but not all the know. And that's where the real stuff's going on in there.
You heard it here first. Cog is a fan of apartheid. He wants to implement it in the tower and make us live separately. Separate water fountains for the cabal. I understand.
Oh my God.
The Fallen got their own vending machine next to 801.
Well, if we weren't demonetized before, let's go ahead and cross that threshold.
He wants the Smallin to go to separate schools.
I can't with you.
Anyway, I'm just messing with you. The mobile command center was cool. I felt like they were addressing the weirdness of the fact that the towers become irrelevant and that we're all just hanging out the helm. And they're like, it's activated its mobile command center functionality. And I'm like, okay, so we were on a ship the whole time. I'm kind of confused by that, but all right, works for me. Like
for me, that was one of those rumors I heard when people pulled like game assets at one point. People had really thought the helm like had detachable geometry, like it was meant to a while. I'd heard that rumor, and then finally when it was like, saw the pictures in the trailer, saw that it was literally parked outside the moon, I was like, finally took off. Thank you. So I was like, I thought that was cool. Shout out to Gaming Forte real quick with the $5 super chat. Salute, gentlemen. Feels good to see Hunter Master Race as the pinnacle of DPS once again. Hashtag shameless plug. Looking forward to all of your opinions, of course. Thank you for the support, sir.
King of DPS? Yes, that's a great podcast with the Forte, but not the King of Guardian Games. You're going to have to watch my golden bracelet.
I don't know. Where is the statue in the tower? I can't even see it. It's too small.
Oh, yeah, okay. You can't see it now? You can't see it now?
No. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it since the thing was actually put in the tower 3 years ago. So your bragging rights on Guardian Games are...
Oh, no, they hard. Listen, man, we outside.
You have fun. Oh, my God.
What color is your butt towel? Is it gold? What color is that? Well, I'm just curious.
Currently, I'm wearing the Heiress armor so I can earn more vestiges of dread. Yeah, it's already gone.
Yeah, threw it away. Okay,
I gotta get the...
Okay. Fair enough.
I mean, honestly, of those three, the Hunter one's the best anyway, because it has like so many medals along the bottom for the decoration. That one looks definitely the coolest for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Helm takes off, and Leviathan, what you were saying, is back. Yes. And it seems to have been corrupted. The derelict Leviathan is the name now. It seems to have been corrupted. And we've got interactions with the nightmares because it seems to be attracted to the pyramid ship on the moon. And so far we haven't gone to the moon. It's all been actually inside the Leviathan. So that was actually a surprise to see. And this is where, some people are going to have the debate of, is it a reused asset? Is it the fact that we got a destination coming with a season? Is it a way for them to bring a destination back for a season? Before we actually get to the activities, are you guys liking what you've seen so far? Is it enough? Or do you think that it's just like, is it an easier thing for them to bring back? Or is it a nice surprise? Where are you guys at landing on the fact that Leviathan is a new destination for a season and also seems like where we're going to be doing a lot of our seasonal stuff?
Trav, let Trav go first.
I am I'm disappointed in pretty much everything about the season so far that I've seen. And I include, so I'll just stick with what you asked, which was the Leviathan as the destination. I had wondered if when they put all the stuff in the vault, they had mentioned that their plan was to take some of it out later on. And I had kind of wondered if this was their seasonal plan, was to like highlight certain areas and like remix them. And, it looks like they took all the assets they made from Destiny 2 Vanilla and all the assets they made from Shadowkeep and just sort of like, merge them together. And so you're going to the same places. So I'm not super impressed with that. I also don't like that all of it's there, but not all of it is used. They kind of just use that main lobby area, like the area that we spent the most time in during that raid, if you were doing it properly. And then you visit those other rooms basically just to sort of open chests and kind of explore and stuff. And I'm just getting deja vu, man. Feels like the moon accidentally had a baby with the Leviathan, and I'm just sort of walking around opening chests like back in D1 when I was farming spin metal. It's just a crazy, the most Destiny thing that they possibly could have done. And I get it, it's a season. They didn't have to add a new location. They didn't have to do all this stuff. I get what they're trying to do, but resources are limited, yada yada, all the excuses we always make, but it doesn't mean that it's particularly exciting. And I wasn't excited to go back to this place. It also feels like it wasn't gone that long ago. I don't know. Menagerie to me was like yesterday. Menagerie wasn't that long ago. You know what I mean?
I can't remember
anyway,
now.
I mean, it's been 5 seasons, but
5
seasons, so that's a little over a year.
That was 5 seasons since the location left, but I think Menagerie was before that, right? Because that was season 8 and we're in 16, ago. So 2 years,
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's different only because I'm so, for the lore, like to me, like I'm at the point now, like Destiny has finally got me into this place where I'm actually here for where the lore goes, as opposed to the gameplay loop that it's still, the gunplay and the way the gameplay is always going to be fun to me and the things you can do. But I want to see where they go. So he's always been interesting to me. Callus has always been interesting to me. I've always liked the location. You know me, lordly, gaudy, gold, opulent stuff. So it gave me they played with my nostalgia because when I got in there, I'm like, I did miss this. You know what I'm saying? I'm running around. You go in the Castellum, you go to different parts, and you see the changes that they made. Right? They've updated, the royal baths and the pleasure guards. You're like, oh yeah, this is where I did the dogs at and stuff like that. So for me, it was more. I admit I was very caught in my feelings for nostalgia because I did really like Leviathan for the time we did have it, and then the way it started up and to see where it's going to go with Callus. But this is where now I do align with Travis, is the more, we'll get into the activity specifically, but the more you start doing it and then it starts to, the nostalgia wears a little, and then you start to see the scope and you're like, is this going to be enough? And how are they going to honestly sustain us for a long period? Now, to your point, E, final point I'll say is that we know they're going to tune in next week, narrative team. It's going to stop step 10 of 66. You know what I'm saying? Tune in next week, whatever. You're going to see, all that. But the narrative is so good now. It allows me to say, okay, you know what? I love what y'all doing with storytelling. But yeah, for some, like Travis said, they're going to be like, yo, there's Leviathan. And y'all remix Leviathan and you remix Shadowkeep and put it together and say, go ahead. Some people going to say it. And they not wrong if they not happy with that. That's what I would say. E, where you at?
Yeah, I mean, I've played a lot of it over the last couple of days, so I get both aspects. We'll get to the story mission here in just a little bit. That's where I think this is shining so far. The story, the narrative they're telling, basically deeper character development and kind of understanding history of some of these characters, kind of currently we're seeing a state of one. It seems like with the other two future weeks, we might be seeing more historical stuff that we haven't ever seen before. So they're getting to tell cool stories with this as a vehicle to tell the stories that I like and appreciate, and kind of, unique little throwback encounters the way the first mission was done. But when you get to the main activity, that's where the scope of the season, if this is the focus of most of what we're doing, and as I'm working through, like, trying to find all these bosses and just like these little hidden nooks, I'm kind of seeing the scope of it. What?
Thank you for the baby calluses.
Yeah, the little bobblehead.
I watched the video.
Yeah.
Baby calluses.
There are 4 this week, and I don't know if there's going to be 2 or 3 weeks of those, but yeah, we'll have a little collection there. But
baby
yeah,
callus heads.
Yeah, there's little bobbleheads.
Oh, you ain't seen the little calluses? They little right.
Yeah, there's 4 little bobbleheads in there.
They're mad cute. There you gotta find them.
You find them on the ship.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they go toward a triumph.
Yes. Yeah, it'll be Teddy already has him. You know that.
Scavenger hunt. Nice.
Yep.
How
yeah, it's like
Travis's?
For me, it's like I wish there was more of the ship. And I think there has to be somewhere because of the trailer. When I sat there and broke down frame by frame, there's more in there. Now, maybe it's just from the missions. I don't know, because the missions went to a different place than the activity does. The activity has the Castellum, the gardens, and the pools. The mission was different for sure, and there was more of the underbelly exploration. I wish, or maybe this is something that they do a little later, and crossing my fingers, hope, but, not entirely sure, expecting it either. I wish the whole Leviathan was mostly explorable at this point, because there are certain points we've seen in the trailer where I think are going to come from story missions if I think through it now. Because I know there's the room with the Callus robots post where you would finish the Leviathan actual raid, beat Callus, go underneath and get your loot. There's something down there for an interaction. And that just may be part of the weekly story mission. There's also like the underbelly with like the tree, like the underbelly with the trees where you'd like be crawling or walking on the little pipes up above. I remember like one of those rooms I saw somewhere else. So there are a couple shots I've seen that make me think we're going to explore more of it. I'm hoping some way, I don't know if they're going to like shift the Leviathan on a weekly basis, kind of the way they do like a Dreaming City rotation. If they did that, that would give it a little more life to see if you got to explore a couple more areas than you were doing, their exploration and the enemies and all that stuff is nice. But yeah, if it's just like the gardens and the pools and then the Castellum for the main event, I'm going to be kind of done with most of that here outside of just farming for activities for like this week. So it's
you got a question from the legends in the chat today. Shout out to legendary Tom Warren in the building.
Thank you very much.
You got a question?
Do we think the Leviathan is a reprised raid coming back next season? That would be... I think people would be disappointed if it was. Now, if they said, here is Leviathan and the 3 raid lairs, maybe as a bonus at some point somewhere, I could see them maybe doing that. Because if they brought back the Leviathan, we're probably going to see most of the entire destination. I would like to see them bring the raid backs just because they were fun encounters and stuff. You know, maybe you got random loot this time too. But if we don't get, you know, either the Sever raid or King's Fall, which I'm blanking on the name of the other one, Wrath of the Machine, if we don't get one of those, I think a lot of people would be disappointed because most people rank either of those, if not both of them, above most of everything that happened on the Leviathan. I would guess. Some people hate Crown. Leviathan, you know, some people have, it's one boss fight, and then the other 2 are raid lairs. So if you get, I don't know. So I was like, I don't think that would be the reprised raid, just because I think that would be a bit of a slap to some people who are hoping for that one. That's my opinion.
I have a similar opinion, which is that I think like lots of us, that the reason the narrative team and the Bungie developers were so hyped about this season is because they were going to start using every season to tell a consistent story, and it was going to be all focused around what's going on with the Traveler, with the Disciple. No, not the Disciple.
Witness.
The Witness. Thank you. Jeez, there's so many, vague names for, you know, vaguely creepy character names. Yeah, the Witness. I thought it was going to be all about the Witness and all about the pyramid, and they were just going straight forward for it. And it seems like with this Leviathan pivot, I'm now convinced that every season is just going to be incongruous, completely self-contained, self-contained out of nowhere. So the fact that the Leviathan has returned makes me even more confident the next season is going to be something completely unrelated, and it's going to have a completely unrelated raid. Maybe they'll bring not the Leviathan, the Dreadnought back, and we'll have the King's Fall raid, or you know, they'll bring back the other half of EDZ, or not EDZ, other half of the Cosmodrome that they cut out several seasons ago so that they can put Wrath of the Machine in there. Something like that. I could just see that happening more than I could see them just doubling down on Leviathan. That would be a crazy pivot if they were like, all right, Witness and the Witch Queen, and now 3 seasons are just Leviathan. Oops, all Leviathan. We're going to reprise all the old raids, and that would just be crazy to me. So I'm more confident from this that the next raid is just going to be something completely different story. It's been a while since we've seen the Fallen. Could easily be that. Witch Queen was already Hive. It'd be kind of weird to go back to King's Fall or Crota's End even. I think it'll probably be Wrath of the Machine, something totally different. Yeah,
I agree. I think, shout out to Tom again, he said definitely strange they bring back basically everything Leviathan for the engine change. I think the vibe I got is that the assets are being used sparingly, like to E's point, like there's certain parts that are completely cut off that are not fully connected how we know it in its fully constructed form. And I'm with you, Trav. I think thematically it would be overkill. And like you said, like they seem to be wanting to do that Legends playlist, right? Where it's separate and they don't have to narratively tie Vogue and, you know, whether it be King's Fall or whatever. They just say, hey, this is your old favorite. It's coming back. This is separate. It has nothing to do with nothing. And I think if they did bring it back right now, I would be for like, say, for example, the next season, because we most likely, you think it would be the next season we'd get a Legends because we got the dungeon, this one.
Yeah, right? 18's a raid. 18's a raid and 19's a dungeon. They've already said that.
Right. Yeah. So that's what I'm thinking. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But you know, overall, I like that it came back. I'm just concerned about how they're going to expand this activity. If we're going to get into containment right now, let me know and all that.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's kind of the piece of, I mean, I'm with you guys. It's like, in what Tom said, he's like, it's definitely strange they bring back everything in the Leviathan for the engine changes just to blow it up again. And I would hope this is them getting away from some of the vaulting situation. Again, like give and take. But again, I don't think they would bring in the Leviathan just to remove it. This is one of those things where if they did the work on the Leviathan to bring it in, we're going to have story beats in there, we're going to have an activity in there. It feels like this should stay for a while. And if they manage to remove the Leviathan at the end of this year for Lightfall, that's a lot of work for an entire destination. Like the moon came, it's still here. Dreaming City's still here. Like Europa, like the planets we've got have been staying around. So if they brought the Leviathan, I don't think it's like, you know, going to get, as you say, exploded with Lightfall per se, because the work would go into that for a fairly short amount of time of like 9 months per se. So that
I think it will.
Oh,
or they'll remove other destinations to keep the new Leviathan in there. But I feel like that's the model now, is like you create seasonal content, it stays there until the next major expansion, and then when the next major expansion comes, you pull out some stuff, maybe not the exact stuff you just finished making, but you pull it out somewhere to get the game back to a, you know, more of a skeleton so that you can put new stuff in it.
Yeah, I mean, like stuff like PsyOps Battlegrounds, that would go away. And again, the destination truly is where like the activity takes place. So maybe if this is most of what it is, we'll get to it in a second. Maybe it is more of a temporary thing, but it is weird. Like they reuse destinations, like they'll reuse Scarlet Keep, or they'll reuse the EDC, like this whatever that place is, like one of the landing zones for a PsyOps Battlegrounds. They'll use that area for it. But then, you know, they can strip it out and just have the alternative. To bring an entire new thing into the game would seem weird for it to just bail in 9 months. But they do remove seasonal content. So if they have a story reason for it, maybe it does get blown up. Who knows? Just going to be weird.
One last point. I do think they cheating though, because I know we're going to get into the narrative thing. But bro, the Garlands was kind of like a mission.
Yeah.
Like it was a mission, like so to me, it's like they're bringing it in these like weird, pieced off, smallish kind of ways.
They're using the whole thing, but that's why I'm saying, like, when it comes to the final Calistrum encounter and where the robots are, that has kind of a similar portal to the one you jump through for the Gauntlet Ring and that I saw in the little trailer. So if that's just one of those things where you go fight something and you pop back and do, like, if that's just one of those mission teleporters, we may not get to see this whole thing, which is, I think, a missed opportunity. If we can't just go to the Castellum, which we'll get to in a sec, and just explore the whole damn thing. Like, why can't I land outside and go explore the whole thing? And maybe that is more to what Travis is saying, that it is a temporary destination because they brought back pieces, like confined in certain areas. It's not everything. So,
yep. I agree.
But I know you want to talk about Nightmare Containment. So we got a new activity. This is basically a public event. It's got 3 waves, which kind of reminds me of, what was the one on Mars, Old Mars?
Oh,
Escalation Protocol.
Escalation.
Yeah. So it's like it's got tiers and waves to it, basically. And it's all packed within the Castellum. So previously, if you hadn't done this before, the Leviathan was where the raid took place. The first encounter to head off where you're supposed to go for the week was from the Castellum. Now we're spending all of our time killing a bunch of guys in there. There's a lot of enemies. We're never short for enemies to kill.
Oh, yeah.
So enemy density in a small space, maybe that's not a bad thing. But generally, what do you guys think of this activity?
Yeah, I was a little disappointed as soon as I launched it, because when I launched it, I was like, wait a minute. It's the same activity and there's 2 versions of it? It was like Containment. And then what was it? Run around or something, like, you know, what's the other terminology that when you don't do
exploration? Or
whatever. Like
it's just called Castellum.
Castellum exploration.
Check it out.
Containment. Yeah,
it was check it out or do the mission, and I was like, what? Like it just threw me off. I've never seen them do that.
And check it out was the default setting.
The default. Yes, I was like, what is this?
Not the main one.
Yeah. So I did version check it out first. Let me see what's going on, and then happened to be a containment going on right when I landed for the first time. So I was like, okay, you know, it was just weird. I never seen them do that. So that's where it got me to question, like, man, is this gonna be enough because like we gonna live in here for a lot. And don't get me wrong, you know, the Leviathan in theory is big. But the Leviathan that we get in this remixed one is not. Like you go down, you go to the little where the dogs are at, and then I was doing my little, what is it? Now they got the thing with the keys, and you know, go by the foot of greatness.
The little clue of opulent keys and stuff.
Yeah, so. Go by the chandelier on the left side of, and I'm like, okay, all right, I'm running around. You know, there's little nooks and crannies, but not to the extent of the true Leviathan nook and crannies. Like, you know, how we really would move around it. I will say again, nostalgia cog did like going into where the baths was and see the chandeliers that we destroyed. It felt like they gave the illusion that we ran through this before, like we destroyed him. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm a huge Khaled fanboy, so I like him talking to, get fat from strength, and what are you here for? I've lured you in, and I'm gonna scare you with the nightmare. I mean, I like his foolishness. He's opulent, he's over the top, he's all about the type of villains and foolishness I like. So again, I'm biased. I like going through memory lane. But yes, I am concerned that you do this activity, you shoot the little 4 darkness things, you run around, you kill the ball. Scythe was cool. It was cool.
Scythe.
Scythe, whatever. I did that.
I like Scythe better, to be honest.
Got the Scythe on. I was on Skype with my Scythe, and then I was doing that joint.
Now I'm done.
But it's like, I'm like, all right, cool.
Ebontis has left the chat.
Yeah, Ebontis hates when I mispronounce words. Like, he disgusts.
Really?
Wow. Oh, bro, I do it purposely because he like, it bothers him.
Check your privilege, jeez.
He's a very particular individual. But yeah, like, I'm just
getting crapped on week after week here. It's fine.
We love you. And then it was like, at the end of it, it was just like, okay, you get the chest, but then here's this little spinny thing, but you don't have 500 of the things to get it. And I'm like, all right. And I'm supposed to go back to the helm and start the loop. And then I can't focus the engrams. It's just weird. It was just, I don't know. I'm not hating it, but I'm worried about how long I'm going to enjoy this for after I get over my nostalgia. I'll give it to you guys.
Travis, you go, because I've spent probably a good amount of time in there. So I'm just curious what you think too.
Yeah, I've also spent a pretty good amount of time there. Continuing what I said earlier about me being disappointed about everything about the season, I'm also disappointed in this match-made activity, which actually isn't a match-made activity, which is, I feel like we took a step backwards there, right? Now we're not even getting a six-person match-made activity. We're getting, you can drop into a playlist of a open area that apparently is more likely for you to end up in a group, but actually not 100%, because I've dropped in there plenty of times and I'm like, I'm the only dude here. What's going on? So that's happened too many times to count. And the actual activity, what you're doing, it's, you're just shooting stuff, shooting nightmares. Deja vu. I mean, that's really all it is. I mean, it's they even chose you to do the standoffs in the exact same places we used to do them.
Yeah.
Which is like in front of each of the doors. It's like there's 4 doors, 4 places you can do the standoffs. It's like, oh my God. I've been here before. They just put a spooky flair on it. It feels more
Festival of the Leviathan.
Yeah, that's what it makes me think of. It makes me feel it's Festival of the Leviathan. That's literally what I was going to say. It makes me feel like this is a live service like holiday event. That's what it makes me feel like. This is dude. And then who's the boss? At least this week, another reused boss. Like, here's this dude, the guy we killed in
the Machinist.
Forsaken.
I think this
He's
week
back,
it is.
Machinist.
Mm-hmm.
So it's I feel like the nightmares thing is my least favorite thing that they do, because it's just like, hey, dude, we already built this asset, the DLC. I mean, that's basically it, right? It's like, hey, here's Crota. Remember him? We still have his asset. And it's like, this time we're going to make him shadowy. But he's Crota. You got to kill him with a sword. And I'm just like, man, this ain't it, Bungie. I'm so surprised, like, how much momentum they had coming off Witch Queen. You know what asset they could have used? Light-bearing Hive.
Ooh.
Where are they? Like, they built those whole characters. They were super well received. I like them. Not at all in use here. Just gone. It's crazy. So I just I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah,
I'm just confused.
I think that enemy type is so good, but I think they're struggling on how to include it lore-wise because it's so connected to Saboteur. But I'm with you.
See, that might be
they need to figure it out.
I mean, that might be why they go Hive next season, though, to get back to that as quickly as they can. Because if they can incorporate those in some way, people do enjoy that type of enemy, as opposed to 14,000 champions.
How's your feeling running around?
So, yeah, I mean, I'm with you guys. Like, I've been doing it just to try and find all the little alcove bosses and try and track down and check all the little triumphs to see where they are, because making a lot of content. But yeah, I mean, I've run the loops around the Castellum way too many times at this point. And if that's what the whole season holds for doing that to build up your Vestiges of Dread, which don't seem that hard to come by anymore. If you go look for them for a little while, they're not that hard to get. But then it's like, oh, I've got some of those to spend. Let me go back in there and do the public event, which takes, like 15 minutes to go through tier 1, all the different waves, take a little break, go to tier 2, take a little break, go fight the boss, break the little, do the little shield break things. It is going to get old fast. And I think it's one of those that if it is only in the Castellum, which is my worry, I have no reason to think that they would move it around.
Apartment 2B.
I was like, no, but I was like, if even if they rotate, it's the one room that makes sense for it. So like if they did it in the gardens, for example, there might be a couple little nooks where you could do this, but it still would feel probably very weird. Same thing with the pools, at least has probably a better setup for it. There's kind of like 3 different areas, but even both of those are so much smaller, confined. They don't have the way the space is set up in the Castellum where you would have 3 different places and then a 4th for a boss. No other room looks like that. So it's like, if that's where the public event is the entire season, that's a lot of the same thing to do a lot. And you're kind of coming back to Season of the Worthy with the public event. It's a public event. Yeah, it's like everybody enjoyed.
It is a public event. Yeah.
Everybody enjoyed the Mars public event of Escalation Protocol for a while, but then when you went to try and go, God, I don't want to go do 7 waves of this thing, and it's not like a public event that you can knock out quickly. If you jump into the level like tier 1 and it's just getting started, you're like, all right, 15 minutes later, let me dunk these 500 that I've got, and I'll get gear. But at some point, if you get all your craftables for your weapon frames, people are gonna duck. I mean, at that point, if you farm enough in there to get the weapons that you want, which you can get quite a few of them, and then you go run and get your opulent keys, like once people have their crafted frames, there's very little in there. So it is.
It's also, I want to piggyback on something you said, Ibantis, which is the Castellum. It's the only appropriate place to hold that event in Leviathan, but it's still a weird place. It feels like a lobby, right? It's like it wasn't designed for like
perfect analogy.
It's like if your improv team got locked out of their theater, and so you guys had to do your show like in the hall,
or in the street,
in like the foyer or outside or somewhere, and like
Bungie does forgive him.
Everybody who's attending the comedy show like knows that this wasn't the original venue and that you guys couldn't get access to it, and it's just got that like really awkward, low budget, like theater kid cringe that only theater kids can truly hone and harness. That's what it reminds me of. It's just a weird venue is how I think of it. It's like, oh yeah, come see my comedy team. We're going to be performing in the back store of a cake shop, and you're just like, there's no way this is going to be good.
It's not going to work. Yeah.
So I have problems with that. And I also, I hate that you can fail the activity and it does not care.
The only thing you don't get the
heavy ammo. Yeah. It's completely ambivalent to you succeed and you're failing.
And you get a few less opulent umbral energy when you finish the boss. So the first 2 tiers are, do you get a heavy full restock, like ammo restock for the next tier? When it's the final boss, if you fail to kill him, which I've done actually like once, you can still. You get like, some probably a blue out of the chest, and then you also get Nightmare Harvester. You can still pull from that, but you probably will get a little bit less. But you can technically still, like, you don't truly fail. I did notice that as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you don't. I've only done it once, but you don't actually fail.
Let me ask y'all this: how y'all feel about? Because I'm indifferent. I'm curious, but how y'all feel about after Bungie post activity making you go chase and run around for something with a timer? Like almost aerial zone vibes. Now, not to the extent, but I'm just curious how y'all feel about that. Okay, so you cool with that?
Oh no, I hate it, but it's perfect. Okay. It's perfect for Destiny. It is like, hey, do the thing you most despise, public events that feel completely frivolous and repetitive, and then afterwards, go and open chests like you did in D1. Do the spin metal farm. It's like I said, like everything about this expansion, this season is the most Destiny thing I've ever seen. It's very unbelievable.
Season of the Destiny.
Yeah,
it is. It's what it should be. I think it's aptly named as a season. Season of the Haunted. This season is haunted by all of Destiny's past, and the engine is haunted the engine is haunted by the limitations of this aging engine and all the glitches and bugs we're seeing. It is literally the season of the haunted in the most literal sense imaginable. It's crazy to me, guys. It's crazy. I'm so down on the season. I don't even know where to begin.
Odysseus is apparently sharing your thoughts in chat there, so he's.
Let me get the whole report there. That was hilarious. He said, my only issue is Bungie developers set a bad expectation by saying this will be the best season in Destiny so far. Still a lot of time to make the save, but disappointing right now. Now I feel where Forte's going. I think that's where the sentiment is. I think I know where Travis is going. EB, you kind of feel the same. We're just worried, like, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, so this is it. You know, it's like, you know, the kids all proud. It's like, ta-da! We're like, oh, that's okay. So what else you got going on? You know, kind of thing. So I gotta see. But if it was to end right now, yeah, nah, that's not gonna be it. That's not gonna be
TK
it for
Omar's
us.
in chat saying season of the old. We got Leviathan, we got Trespasser, we got Rift.
Y'all going in.
Literally, it's the season of nostalgia.
It's the unvaulting of previous things. Now, granted, I will say, like, if next week there's a shift in the Leviathan where the public event takes place, we've got other places to explore, then I'll hold my reservations. But honestly, the way it's set up right now, if this is again, that's like my dream is the fact that it could move around and use more of the actual space. If it doesn't, and this is what we've got, and we've got like a fifth of the Leviathan, and then the story takes you through the rest of it. You can replay the story missions, sure, but like you can't just go get lost in Leviathan. Yeah. That was the best part. Like, hold on, I'm down here, I'm in the armory. How do I get to the waterworks and all that? Like, how do you get around to the different places and you get lost?
The underbelly, bro. The underbelly was fire.
The whole point of that thing. And that's what I was, when I saw it, like hoping. And then I went and I was like, okay. And then I went the first time and I was like, oh, you know, I'm at the pleasure gardens, went down where the dogs are. I was like, okay, cool. I'm in here, saw a couple alcoves added for like a couple little mini boss fights and stuff. And enemies responding like crazy. And then I saw the connection and ran up there. And then I noticed when I went from the pools, the only place to go is back to the Castellum. I was like, we're missing some stuff.
We're missing some stuff. Yo, shout out to TKO. He said the icing on top will be the new dungeon taking us to all the raid layers.
Oh God, that hopefully doesn't happen because
it'll just be Spire of Stars. That's
God, I will boycott this season. But you will see me turn into Travis on that. If I see that damn Spire Star, I hate that.
Oh, and what do you mean turn into me, dude? I'm just being honest. No, like
I'm not saying that you're being. I'm joking. I'm not saying like you're doing anything wrong. All I'm saying is that like you will see Uber me turn. It's like I will be so disgusted. And don't let them lock it behind
gonna need the Snickers that time. He's gonna need the Snickers.
Don't lock no really valuable thing that I want behind it. It Inspire. Oh God, Val Calor and all. That's my nightmare. That's what it's season of the haunted for me. It's truly a nightmare.
The way I think of it, with your just like your naive optimism.
No, I know. Pie
about
in the sky.
Season. Just
I don't expect it. I don't expect it. Even
as a dream, it hurts me to hear you say those things as like a hope, just because it's like so obviously not going to happen. But I'm just like, even on bad seasons, guys, the best week is week 1 when everything feels new, and we're even on seasons where we end up not liking whatever activity we're doing. At least that first week, we're like, okay, it's fun. I'm having a good time. I worry a little bit about it being burnt out. And then like by week 3, we're like, okay, I hate the season already, right? But we're talking like this DLC came out 2 days ago and we're already over it. Like it's 4 weeks from now, we are going to be hating this deal. Like we're going to hate this season. We've got to. And I think that they're thinking that maybe the story can carry them. And I agree with you guys, like the story's probably the best part, but I'm still disappointed with the story because I feel like they're focusing on stuff that doesn't really matter. It's not, they're not doing what I was hoping that they were doing, which is start building momentum toward the next expansion and talking about the Witness and stuff that's going on with the Traveler. And this totally seems incongruous. It's just like a random, misadventure through what's going on with Leviathan and Callus, and nothing feels more frivolous than catching up with old Callus and going back to the old location. And I just don't it's not what I was hoping that they were building to, with all of the narrative team being stoked about this. I love the Crow as much as the next person, but it doesn't feel great to just see him reflecting on the same stuff he's been reflecting
I
on
agree
for
with you on that.
however many seasons, and going
Yeah,
like,
I
oh,
agree.
who am I? And it's just like,
I
all right,
agree.
dude, we've heard this for how many seasons of the who am I?
I agree there.
So,
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, I'm with you. And I'll jump in because, you know, I am a little narrative team gets A plus to me. Or like this, the last, what is it, year and a half, 2 years almost. You know, they've been killing it. But I will say, if I had to put one knock, is the Crow storyline to me is dragging. It's like, we know you want to do the redemption, but every season they're putting him through some more torturous thing or some tumultuous thing. And I get it, the redemption, and I get it. To me, the best part, I mean, let's get right into it. You know, if we did the mission, you know, the Aldrin solve, you know, nightmare, him talking to himself, okay, cool. You know, him being totally dejected to not be able to participate while we're fighting in the gauntlet. Okay, whatever. But I like the mission. I thought the mission structure was actually really cool. They had the unstoppable kind of guy chasing you while you put the mechanisms down. I love that mission. It's kind of it reusable aspect a little bit with the spores, kind of like the what was the mission that we did that went away that was Callus's ship that we did the Glycon, right? So it had Glycon elements, had all the little element, and then they had the what you call it, the gauntlet at the end with the fight with one of the thing. But I will say, like, yeah. So I will say, like, I am getting annoyed with it, with him. And like, I want, please, if after this season, I would love the conclusion of his arc to truly, let's go now. Let's go. We get it. You're not the same person anymore. You're going to prove it. The best part, though, I will give them this. Did you guys listen after the mission to the terminal on the side of the Crown of Sorrows and the conversation between him and Amanda?
Yep.
That was fire.
Yes.
I like that. Because she was like, yo, bro, you lied to me all this time. You know what I'm saying? Like, when were you going to tell me what the situation was, kind of thing? Because they had built a friendship. And once she said the cold-blooded line, like, I'm your friend. Like, no, you killed my friend.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, like, she had that little spicy accent. Like, I was like, go ahead and tell him. I was like, ooh, I felt that one. So again, they're doing a good job. I just want Crow's storyline to really go. We know they're gonna go with Zavala at some point. And I'm dying. Yeah, Keidel's the one I need. That's the one I need, because I know Zavala's gonna have some deep personal back in the day when he was a thing, but I need to know the whole daughter thing with him, like what, because she's being extra. And I want to know what them fears are. So that's the one I'm looking forward to. But to Travis's point, self-contained story. And we know this is not advancing the arc, other than eventually Callus will be, you know, some helper of the witness, maybe. And can we fight the real Callus? Can we get that? Let's see. I'm kind of calm down. They got a lot to prove right now. Go ahead, Trav.
I figured it out, guys.
Okay,
I know why they're focusing so much on Crow and him turning back into Aldrin. They're going to make his arc be a transformation where he turns back into Aldrin Solve so that they can resell us the Forsaken campaign. Exact same story. He's gonna go evil.
You didn't have to do that.
All the same missions. We're gonna go back to the Dreaming City. They're reselling us the Forsaken campaign.
That's how it comes back?
That's how it comes back, man. They're pulling it out of the content vault. It's gonna be beautiful.
Oja gonna win. He gonna be his true self.
Yeah, that's it. You know what? I am Aldrin Saw. I've got an idea. I'm gonna go and release all of the prisoners.
He gonna get back with what's them dude's name? The Scorn dudes.
Yeah, that's right. I'm gonna bring back the Scorn. It's gonna be the exact same campaign. Beautiful.
He save us, man. Save us, man. Give me some I need some positivity right now. Come on. Save the season.
No, like, honestly, the way this... No, that's not what I'm saying. Not what I'm doing.
No, I'm not doing that.
No, that's not what I'm saying. No, I will say, when I played the story mission the first time, I had to replay it again. Like, you'll replay it a couple times if you have the currency you can spend. First time I played through, I did enjoy it. I enjoyed going through the underbelly.
Me too.
Have you talked to the automaton for Callus? If not, in Sever, right after the little pipes, go to the right. It's not that far to get to. Just like replay the mission, go to the right, and listen to him. The voice actor for Callus, I don't know if it's the same one or different, delivers
different.
his part really well through that like automaton robot. He's just like speaking to you through it.
Really?
He has a really good set of voice lines in there, and I don't know if it's the same voice actor. It just felt like it had a deeper grovel to the voice. It just
he
felt like
sounds
it
deeper.
had more weight to his voice, which means I don't know if it's the same or if they have a different, like same or different voice actor. Either way, if that voice is something that we face at some point, that's a good thing because the way those lines were delivered, the weight to it, I like the way that Callus sounded. Like, yeah, go explore the ship. That's fine. He's like I listen to what he says. It's it's interesting. But I just like the feel of the delivery, which was good. And there's going to be one of those, as Nurad said, there's 6 of those. So there's an automaton every week. So you're going to be getting like basically messages from Callus every week.
So wait, where do I go for this?
So when you boot up Sever,
Yeah, I beat it. Right? That was the single.
so you can replay it. You can go replay it multiple times because the currency you get, the bound presence, we'll get to the currencies in a minute. Travis's favorite. But the currency you get, you can earn more of those by chance during the week. And if you do, you can go back in there and play through it again and turn them in.
So I go through there. Where do I hear this automaton thing?
Like, when you go through, remember like you were crouched and you went through the little pipes?
Yes.
Like literally right when you pop out of a pipe, go right.
Oh.
When you're done with the pipes, go to the right, and he's just like chilling. He's like laying in a corner and he speaks through the robot. He's basically dead. So. Look at it. He looks exactly like he's just... That's why my thumbnail's a robot's just like, well, that's why he looks like that. So
I got to do that. Right, cool.
But yeah, it's like I'm enjoying the voice actor. Like, I think the voice actor for Crow's doing a very good job. I think what he's doing for the lines for Crows, he's doing like a good delivery for him, kind of showing the anguish he's going through. Also, you've got Aldrin on the other side. But I'm also with you guys. At some point, is this going to end? Because we've had Mara deal with his things, and then he messed up with like Season of the Chosen and Season of the Hunt. Like, he has been this undertone character for quite a while. I mean, it was Hunt, you found him. Chosen, he was dealing with Keitel. Splicer, he had less to do in Splicer, I feel like. I don't think it was around as much. Lost obviously came back in. Then we had Witch Queen where, what was he, quieter, less? Well, no, Risen, he was huge in there. Risen, he was massive. And then now this one again. So it's like they're using Crow a lot, which isn't a bad thing if there is a payoff. But at some point, we do actually need some kind of payoff. He can't just have, this season's drama where he stubs his toe and does the Family Guy.
Yeah.
Like he,
you'll get your payoff-y when you play Forsaken 2. I love it.
That's kind of the thing. It's like, and that's why it will be nice to see like Keitel, as you said. I want to know what's going on with Keitel, Gaul, theoretically, because Callus is the bigger piece of this because we got Gaul sitting in the background. It's like, what's the interaction between those two? I'm really curious.
I think I could figure out the Gaul one though.
So it's like, and then Zavala,
what's his end goal?
Siad or whatever her name was. That's like apparently supposedly Zavala's wife or something, like love interest of some kind, that there's probably a very small like lore piece to. So I will be curious about those for a little backstory. But as you said, I wish the story would progress. Like if you ever watch like a syndicated TV show where there's like 24 episodes, every so often you start an episode and you're like, oh, this is a filler episode.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying this is like a filler completely, because there's like some undertones with Crow, and you've still got Keitel and Zavala, and you've got like this little like band working together. Now we added Eris. So we've got like a new one this season, but it is.
Yeah, wait.
What?
No, finish your thought first.
No, and it's just like, but also it's like Witch Queen happened, and then now Callus showed up. But as you said, there's no Hive Guardians. The Witch Queen stuff isn't there. Beyond Light still sitting way back there with Elsie and Anna just not doing anything. They just showed up in like one little cinematic. There's just, again, it's when you think a little, like, if you think too hard about it for too long, you realize there's a whole bunch of Dagon stuff out there, and you're like, there's one more thing now we've added to it without resolving much. So
no, I agree. I think it's a good point. I want to do want to give a shout out, surprisingly, to Eris. I feel at first I didn't know where she was going with the Ooga Booga seance thing. At first I was like, okay, what are we doing? What are we doing? Why are we getting down Indian style, feet bent, knees bent, hands together? Okay, what are we doing? But then I don't even though I'm annoyed with the Crow situation, I like the way she's counseling him.
Yeah.
Because as a person who's been severely haunted,
Yeah. She
and
had
she's
5
like,
of these, right?
yeah, she to me is speaking how I would speak. Like, bro, you got to let this go. Like, you're gonna be debilitated your entire life if you know, and it's gonna be a process. It's like he's like this brooding, depressive figure.
He's,
and it's just
he's
like
emo Crow.
Yeah, I didn't want to
emo
say
Crow.
it. Yeah.
Somebody said that in chat earlier. So
Yeah, and it's just like, bro, she spoke to me. I was like, I'm speaking to her as a player, like, bro, you got to get through this. Otherwise, we're not gonna be able to thing. And then at the end of the mission, you know, he's like, I'm sorry, I let you down. He's like, yeah. I'm like, damn it, you didn't even fight during the mission. You did nothing. You stood there while I'm fighting for my life, going through American Ninja Warrior again with the fallen captain thing. And I'm like, what are you doing, bro? Like, so me and him got issues with that part. But yeah, I wanted to say that. And then once we finish this thing, I do want to talk about the part of the season, because I know we were kind of down in the season, and rightfully so, all fair points. But I do want to get to the part when you guys finish about what I do like about the season. And again, you know, I'm Lord Sandbox, Lord Build, and I wanted your opinions on Solar 3.0 because there is a talk like, yo, this is, you know, not as good as Void 3.0.
Nope.
And then, wait, hold on. I'm going to get to you. I want to know from the Titan perspective, because I'm going to tell y'all from the Warlock perspective where I'm at with it. But I'm very curious how tight, because I feel in Titan's defense, I'm going to be nice. Y'all got the short change on Stasis, I feel, when they did 3.0.
Yes.
How did y'all feel about Void 3.0 Titan?
It was reasonable. Like the overshield's been beneficial. It's not like, you know, crazy exciting, but also like it was reasonable. Yeah, I think I'm with Travis. Like,
so my Titan brothers, how are y'all feeling playing with the fragments? Now I know it's early, but what's y'all feel of Titan Solar 3.0?
I have
underwhelming.
I was like, I've not been experimenting that much. I've started doing the one thing that I wanted to do. I've been making sunspots like a crazy person with my little throwing hammer. Like everything I can kill with that, I do. I chunk the little hammer, bank the guys, they're making sunspots, it's cooking wherever they are, floor is lava. Those aren't as strong as they used to be, which is unfortunate. So I've mostly been goofing around, just like literally like content in that. So I haven't gone deep into builds or fragments or seen what's so much there. Travis feels like he's got a little deeper on this one. So where you at?
I've spent a lot of time trying to make this good because I'm trying to figure out, is this going to be part of the meta or whatever? And I'm just convinced it's not going to be, at least part of PvP. It's not going to be part of the meta. But I also don't really know why you would use it in PvE. Cooldowns are really bad on Titans. The whole building up, Scorch and then Ignition, doesn't really give me the payoff I would hope for. It also requires, like, a lot of times you got to use your super to actually ignite and to get to that point.
Yeah,
I'm still confused as to how many stacks of Scorch it takes to ignite something.
Will they tell me?
Doesn't really seem like
it's behind the scenes. There's nothing on the. There's nothing on the enemies showing like a number or a bar of or Scorch or any debuff on the enemies. You don't see anything on them, so you're just like, have I done enough? I don't know if I've done enough. Yeah,
building a healing. I've also tried building like a healing one. It's not really feasible on the Titan, and that's fine. I mean, I realize the Titan's supposed to be 100%, building Scorch's ignitions, but I just haven't seen it really pay off in any super like exciting way. Like if I'm playing Crucible, I would much rather have my Void build where every time I put out my class ability, I get an overshield and yada yada. It feels a lot more versatile to me. I was worried Solar would be overpowered with like the fact that it can heal and the fact that it does damage over time, and now they're saying it explodes everything. I was like, damn, this is gonna be crazy. And it just, at least in the Titan, I mean, I've seen my friend, the Hunter main, has a crazy
her hunters are
Solar
eating.
build where I'm like, damn, you guys are crushing it. But at least with the Titan, I've it's still early. It's only been 2 days, but I really haven't. It hasn't clicked with me in a way that Void 3.0 clicked immediately. I was like, yep, this is the way to do it. Also, I feel like the aspects they're not super exciting to me right now. And the ones that were unlocking as a community apparently, which is weird. I mean, we'll see if those change the game, but I also hate the way that we've been getting those aspects. The fact that you just buy them from Ikora, or
You don't want to
just
go to
get them
Walmart
at the
and get your
beginning.
aspects. You don't want to shop at Walmart
It's
for
weird,
you.
man. It's like, yeah, is this just because people complain that Ikora's not around enough? So they're like, here, we'll just make her a vendor. You go and she's a yoga instructor, and you go and meditate next to her, and you get your new abilities. It's just weird, man. I don't know, man.
Yeah,
question,
like,
Chad.
no,
Okay.
I was gonna say though, for Titans, I will say they made the resilient stat matter. Resilience, if you stack it all the way up to 10, again, I'm with Travis that the barricade with the overshield doesn't compare. Having that ability to give yourself an overshield, and the healing doesn't feel as close to comparable. It is more of like a DPS build. But if you go full, they changed the stat. If you go full 10, it's 40% damage reduction. So if Titans lean into that more, because they're typically the class that usually does for theirs, 40% damage reduction, then you've got the 25% from the mod that's Solar and Void this season. And then theoretically, if you put something on, like they said, Loreley Splendor, if you put that on for better healing, that's a very tanky build, theoretically. So I'll be curious to test that one out a little bit. But yeah, the 40% I heard on like day one, somebody just checked their stats and all of a sudden 40% damage reduction, massively more. It scales up like 20 to 40 in the last few levels. It's pretty fast. So the resilience for a Titan, which is usually the stat that if we want our class item on any like consistency, we can do that. So that does help them a little bit. But I would say Titans overall, I've been goofing around with throwing hammers and sunspots, but Void felt changing. You had volatile, you had weakened, you had like the overshield. You guys had stuff for, invisibility is like a game changer. And then you had, what is that old god? What is the little
Child of the old gods?
Child of the old gods. Like there were things like that felt different, like the way the animations changed. The one for the Titans, when you do like the wave and the slam, very cool, but it's more show than function. Because like, okay, hold on, I got to run back over here. I got to get a running start. I got to slide, hit it, and then wait for about half a second. Then I got to slam down. And it's
that's the one with the two hammers.
The double hammer slam.
I will say this.
That's an aspect. It looks cool, but it's like,
hold on, don't slam it yet. Yay, running loose in PvP with that.
I've heard it is powerful.
That's a one-hitter quitter in PvP. Titans running loose with that. Just got to give y'all, I don't want to hear no lip about Sun Novas. What's it, handheld supernova after what I see a couple Titans doing in there.
It's not that. It's no shatter dive. It's not like you can, I don't know. Right. We'll see. It's too early, but I don't think it's enough, really.
It's not one-hitter quitter is enough?
It's not a game changer because, I mean, how long ago was it that Titans were shoulder charging people and one hit killing them?
So this is just back to the norm for you.
It's just back to that, which was already a super like spammy noob move that anybody worth their salt could easily counter. You know what I mean? So it's like whatever.
We good. As long as you admit it, I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, dude, if you're running around shoulder charging people to get kills in PvP, I guarantee you your KD is of 1.0 because all you're doing is you're getting the kill and then immediately getting shot, or not even getting the kill and they're shooting you with a shotgun as you charge toward them. So I don't know. It just feels like a more fancy version of that in PvP. We'll see. Right.
So before I talk about the Warlock delegation, Alex Kilgo has a question for y'all. He said, "What was Cog talking about with what's the name of the move with the two axes slam down?" Okay, there you go.
I think that's what it's called.
They talk about.
Yeah. So it's like you slide and you get a wave of fire, but you also start a jump, and then if you hit the button again, then you do the double slam, and it's kind of like the Dead Messenger. It's like it's almost like a triple wave, kind of like the scythe almost right in front of you. It's a big smash in front of you. And yeah, it does a lot of damage, but like to line it up, I can't just like jump in the air and go whatever I want to, like a Shatter Dive. Right. It's like, all right, so I got to run around. I got to be running.
Right.
I already got to be like in motion. Then I got to slide. Then I got to line it up. Then I got to jump. And it's like somewhere in that process, they might just voop me. And I'm like, all right, well.
I feel you.
So it's like, it is one of those, it feels cool in show, and shout out to the animation, looks very awesome. Shout out to the artist who did that. But in function for like an aspect, it doesn't feel like I'm in a Grandmaster and I'm going to use Consecration. No, I'm probably going to die trying. It feels what that feels like. That's what that feels like.
Because you say there's a lot of steps to get to what you want to execute, is what y'all say.
Yeah. It might be good for PvE at a low level, but it's like run up, slide, jump in the air, and then you do the slam. And it's like, okay, so I killed like 4 ads, and it took me 8 seconds to like line that all up, and just at that point it's like, all right, just get a shotgun, dude, just get a fusion rifle. You'll kill everything. It won't be a big deal. It's really for people who want to stunt on the enemy. That's really what it's about.
No doubt. All right, so break down for the Warlock.
I was just gonna say, like, Hunters, apparently Blade Barrage though, beast.
Yeah, how they look?
Yeah.
Hunters Blade Barrage with the upgrade, that's like one of the best DPS in the game right now. It's crazy.
They needed that. They needed that. I mean, for me, it's so weird. I think the Warlock delegation have some net losses with Soul. Like, Solar's big for Warlocks.
Yeah.
Because it used to be the top tree. And then here's the thing. Like, the first thing I struggled is Phoenix Dive was my get out of jail free card when you were bottom tree Dawn. That is now like a specific class move to replace the Rift. And so I went with it just to see how it works. And my only issue is that you throw a Rift down and you got to sit in it, right? This is like, okay, run, you do the move to Phoenix Dive and come down. It supposedly heals you and other people, but the healing is very quick. It doesn't last very long, and it just gets you, it's no overshield kind of thing. It just kind of gets you back to full health instantly. But the thing I don't like is that if you don't have class ability, you can't use it. So that was kind of like a little net negative there. Now, the other thing was the thing that I do like. Bro.
Snap.
That's fire.
Literally.
Literally. I didn't understand how, literally, I didn't understand how the ignitions worked at first. And then I found a couple of fragments to stack them so that when you do it, and I gotta be honest, it's hard for me to take off anything but sun braces. Sun braces are just stupid right now. Because you do the thing, you get the kill, you get the ignition, then sun braces are already coming. Then if you throw that aspect that makes the grenades more powerful, there's one that we have. And bro, it's like you put a little lava thing, like you throw the solar grenade, you know how it pulses normally? Yep. But then lava comes out and it's shooting more people and it's lasting longer. Yo, solar grenade is crazy with that thing. And heat rises, man. Heat rises is really strong. You jump in the air. You do the thing, and then, you get a little bit more air accuracy. And the other thing that I like about it is if you get kills while heat rises, you extend it. The typical thing that we've been doing. Yeah. But the synergy with the snap and certain exotics is really cool. I'm with Trav, though. I don't think not the fragments, what's the ones on the bottom?
Fragments are on the bottom. Aspects are class specific.
Okay. So the fragments, I don't think are as interesting as Void, though. I think they're kind of very, okay, we'll give you this. Because everything with the Warlock is like Ignite, Scorch, and then this Radiant thing, which is supposed to give you like a little 10% DPS. Yeah. It's okay. I mean, obviously, it's early, like Trav said. There's aspects that they're holding that we got to see, how that works out. But I like it. I got to get the Taz. What's up, Taz? Yeah, I got to get the exotic legs. I heard that the legs takes it to the next thing, and I'm gonna do a build video to educate the world. I see Fallout's outside, man. Shout out to Fallout playing. He's outside with his Warlock builds, and shout out to Vanguard up there in Cactus. But it's early for us. I think there is potential. We did lose some things, but overall it's okay. But I have to agree with you. It's not better than Void 3.0 to me. I think Void 3.0 was clearly still superior if I had to rate it.
I think for me, it's just the fact of it felt like Void changed more. Like, we got overshields that we could take with us on the fly. The animations for the shield changed. This feels like almost what I expected it to be the first time around, is like, you can customize it, but most of it's still there, and we tweaked a few things. Not really anything felt that different. Like, now I said I could use sunspots and I can have a throwing hammer, and, it's a nice little combination to plink guys and get those popping more frequently all over the place. But Void was like, it was a game changer. Like, overshields, invisibility was nearly infinite. You guys had more stuff than you know what to do with over there on the Warlock camp, and like, we were having fun like Titans too, because then you had volatile, and then you had them explode, and then you had the weakening grenade, which was you can have a grenade that just makes them take more damage straight up. That's hard to compete with. So it does feel, they don't feel equivalent yet. Again, we haven't seen all the builds. There are certain things maybe you can boost your damage a little more with some of this other stuff and Radiant and other things versus weakening, it's, buffing, and maybe the synergy of a team is the idea here where eventually all this stuff comes together. After seeing this, though, I have no idea what they're going to do with Arc. I don't know if it's going to be like more over the top like Void, or if it comes in kind of, a little bit of polish like we got for for Solar. I don't know.
Did any of you guys get your new exotics yet to see?
I haven't farmed for that one yet. No.
Okay, I got to get that Lord Sector. You said the legs is today, right?
I didn't. I don't know if somebody did, but it's probably checkable.
Okay. Got to check that out. Travis is challenging. He's 1v1ing bros in the chat. Salute to Trav. Always putting it on the line.
So I was going to ask, do you feel
yes.
Well of Radiance? Where are you on that?
My report card is incomplete because I'm having too much fun burning things and doing the other stuff. I haven't even touched a healing grenade yet. But I will say this. In PvP, I'm shout out to DJ again and Sinister. Because of the what is it? The cooldown on supers, how supers have ranks now with the tiers.
Yeah.
It's almost advantageous to be like a Bubble Titan bro and a Well of Radiance bro. Because you're getting that super fast, and you now can use them, especially if you're doing cap type points or cap trials, what we were doing. But I haven't done it yet. I don't know what the consensus is from my other warlocks. I don't know anybody in chat who's been playing with well yet to know what it is. The only one I messed around with, the only other build I messed around was Dawn Chorus, and that is strong single target DPS because it adds extra ignite on everything. It's super strong. I got to get those boots. So there's a lot of stuff I got to play with, but I'm just having so much fun with the Sunbracer synergy and the Claws of Amakara synergy with the snap and igniting things and just getting abilities back and radiance and shooting power stuff all day. So I'm having fun. I'm just burning stuff up, you know what I'm saying? But I gotta lean into that when it comes raid time and dungeon, because that's y'all know y'all gonna need me for y'all little well. You always need a little warlock to get that DPS through. So we gonna see.
Let's see, what else we got? So we got the story mission, we got the activity, and we got Solar 3.0. And this is week 1. Now, tomorrow is the one that I think everybody's going to wonder, is tomorrow worth it? Because some people are going to wonder if you bought it separately, it's a $10 dungeon on its own. If it's just part of the season and the deluxe edition, then you didn't pay out the rear for it. So basically, I think I've heard the name of the dungeon, and that's basically it. We don't know much.
Oh, what's the name?
Spire of Stars.
I was getting...
You didn't hear?
You didn't hear?
If you want to avoid the name before tomorrow, but by the time you listen to this, it's probably going to be out anyway. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's called Duality.
The shotgun?
Well, the idea behind it, I think, is the good and bad, more of the yin yang type.
Yeah.
The traveler and the pyramid ship, it's the two sides.
It's called Duality because they make you do the same raid again. Spire of Stars.
Can't with him right now. He's out of pocket.
Duality.
Travis is so excited about this season.
He is so excited about this.
I'm sorry, guys.
You on a roll today, bro. You on a roll. I can't stop you. You just on fire with the puns.
Gotta let it go. Gotta let it play.
Run
its course.
I'm sorry, guys. The reskins, they're killing me out here with these things.
Can we talk about how ridiculous Trespasser is, though?
Trespasser feels good.
It's powerful.
When you can line it,
it's great.
When you can line that thing up and you get that extra boost going, just like in PvE, it's easy. PvP, a little harder to put those together, but PvE, you can just start mowing down ads. It's
also a returning weapon.
Yes, we talked about this. We said Season of the Old. We covered it earlier.
Season of the Old. You haunted by this. Season of the Haunted.
Season of the Haunted is such a good name for this season. It's really
So, E, let me ask you this, though. Do you think it was a mistake for them to give us Trespasser and Arc exotic not during Arc 3.0?
Yeah, that's kind of weird, right? I mean, they can't go all solar, because we did get a solar bow. Thank God there's a legendary one out there you can get. But Yeah, that feels weird, right? Here's your season pass weapon for Solar 3.0 season, Arc Guy. And it's pointing the wrong direction. Can we fix that, please?
It is. Yes, I'm
It's
looking at
pointing
it
the wrong
now.
direction,
Yeah.
because even in my when I was going through the website, I was like, oh, it's facing the wrong direction.
Yeah.
But it totally is an arc charged part. So is the first part kinetic and then it's arc or what? And I was like, nope, there's just a few things in the game right now that are facing the wrong direction. And I don't know
actually,
why.
it's the new weapons too, because
Yeah, a couple of
I
those.
got hollow denial, the trace.
Yeah.
Trav, you got any of the new stuff yet? You ever tried out anything? I got one of the, what is it? I got an Austringer. Like anybody get any new, new old stuff?
I used the mini tool, which is pretty decent.
Okay.
I actually got 2 red frames of those, so I'm probably going to try to craft that pretty soon. I used the Drang, I think was one of the ones that came back.
I was raving about that guy.
That gun is really good. I think that's going to be in the meta for sure.
Okay.
And
get any of them scouts yet, Trav? You get any of them scouts?
What?
Any of those the scouts?
Yeah. I mean, scouts. I play PvP, so it's like scouts.
Yeah,
great. Yeah, great.
Yeah,
I can't wait for this to take up space in my vault.
A scout rifle.
A scout rifle is 3 legendary shards, is what it is.
That's the going rate on the market.
Anyway,
I can't.
But yeah, mini tool and Drang are the highlights I've gotten so far.
All right. What about you, E? What highlight weapons you got?
I mean, I've been using the linear fusion just because it seems to come up for like bounties a lot. So I've been using the hollow denial, the void linear fusion. And again, that one. I actually got one that has a trait on it that says defeating a void debuffed target grants an overshield. So in theory, that's something that plays with Void 3.0. But yeah, I was like, that's just making Void look better.
They try to keep it hot, even though the new
there is a perk.
Yeah.
Callus Mini Tool can get a perk. I don't think I've got one with it where it can get scorched or it can play with scorched. Yeah,
I want that. I want those guns that got that perk. I know what you're talking about. It's like it's a solar thing. Now let me ask you this, because I've been having fun with the machine gun buff.
Oh, I've been using Thunderlord like a crazy person.
Oh, how's the Thunderlord back?
Thunderlord feels good.
Oh, let me go grab
I also played a couple matches of Gambit because I was trying to knock out some seasonal challenges for XP. I don't advise that, but it's there. But I will say I definitely got hit with the Xenophage a couple times, and I was like, oh yeah, that's bad. That still hits hard. So Xenophage, don't forget about that thing because it's still good. It hits hard now. Well, it didn't get the boss buff, the 40% for champion. It's gonna smash. So it's gonna do some work.
Yo, the one that's killing it for me are 360 RPM, the heavy impact frame ones.
Yeah, like no, that's not even corrective measure. Corrective measure is 450.
I got an Archon's Thunder right now with auto loading and just rampage, and I'm like melting those nightmare dudes in the Castellum, like better than a rocket. And I'm like, yo, the legendaries seem to benefit more. Outside, I haven't tested though. I haven't tested Xeno, and I haven't tested.
I was like, Thunderlord.
Crazy.
Works.
I gotta grab
when you get that lightning to come down and you kill like 6 ads at the same time, it works. It definitely works. So yeah, the small stuff dies fast, and then again, yeah, if you pick up the little nightmare unstable essence and you go after one of the guys and you've got like a bit of a damage boost, they'll go down pretty fast, which is
I just want to take this opportunity to point out that Thunderlord has no thunder involved in the weapon. 100% lightning.
Lightning Lord.
It is the Lightning Lord. It is
lightning
no thunder
Lord
involved.
Yeah, I got that rocket that bump in the night. I don't know how I feel about it yet.
Stasis rocket.
Yeah. Have you guys taken the oath yet?
I have not.
Skyburner's oath.
Yeah. I heard it's crazy. How was it?
I've not used it yet. Actually, Alex Kilgore in the comments section just reminded me I need to pull it out of my vault and commit to the oath that I took to take the oath.
I forgot about that.
I'm gonna try that out. I do not have a lot of confidence, but we'll see.
Yeah, because they changed a lot of the behavior of it. I think they even added some ignite stuff to it. Or no?
For which one?
Do something. Skyburners. Then Skyburners, they do something with it.
Yeah, they changed up. They changed a lot how it works, but I haven't taken it out of the vault yet. I haven't used it yet either.
Y'all gotta go get Sunshot. Oh God, Sunshot is stupid. Bro, it is stupid. Like I was sitting there like, oh, this is broken. I was just running through. Then you throw that and put on War Mind cells. Man, I was destroying things in the cassette. I was like, who want what? Who's popping up? What nightmare wants to come outside?
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah, ad control is just crazy. Yeah, man. I
Nice.
love Sunshot right now. Sunshot is really in a good place.
Yeah, there's just ones like that I've honestly forgotten about. So that's a good reminder. Haven't used Sunshot. Jotun has a catalyst, so I know Justin was excited.
Are you
Oh my
serious?
God, dude.
Oh God.
Jotun's got a
no.
catalyst. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
What
it's
is
a
the
really good
catalyst?
catalyst.
It's a good
too.
catalyst.
It's
It
kind of
gives,
broken.
is it
What does it
cornered?
do?
And then also, what else does it do? There's another piece to it.
Does it increase the charge rate? Was that one of the? It does.
Don't
It
say that.
alters
Don't.
2 stats, but
Yeah.
it
Hold
doesn't give it better tracking or anything. It just it makes it
I don't-
slightly better at what it already does.
We're gonna have to deal with IRL
The
Titan
first perk is
all
cornered,
week.
which gives Jotun a faster charge time or draw time when surrounded by enemies. The second perk is called Incandescent, and it causes Scorch to spread to nearby enemies after defeating a target.
That's the fly
There you
new
go.
perk.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's gonna be
Yeah.
crazy.
But,
Cornered and
Okay.
iridescent.
cornered can give it does give a better charge time if cornered's activated.
Yeah, faster charge time or draw time when surrounded. So if you're in the middle of stuff and you just want to blow
In
up
the
a group
mix.
ads, just
Yeah.
charge that thing up and send your little nuke out there. So
I feel disgusted using that one. I can't use that one.
I mean, all I can say is, like-
I feel that's against my morals if
all
I
I can
use
say
that
is
one.
Justin had that catalyst faster than anybody else in my timeline, and I'm very proud to
Salute.
see that
I'm
he
happy
did.
for him. No
Yeah.
one loves Jotun more than that man.
Oh no, that
He is
man,
Team
that
Jotun.
is his whole timeline. His
Yes.
his body covered in made of Jotuns and all that crazy
Yes.
stuff. So Skyburners, I've heard Prometheus Lens got an update as well.
Yeah.
Tracer
Gotta try
rifles
that.
are stronger. They're just 20% stronger generally.
Mhm.
I think on
How you
everything
feeling
but
about
red bars. So they can do some more. I haven't taken the exotics out. Honestly, I need to. Prometheus, I'm thinking Cold Heart, especially if you can just line it up on something and just unload for a while. Cold
Then
Heart
we
could
got
put
that
in some work as well. So there's
Got that
plenty that I
artifact.
haven't toyed around with for sure.
Any artifact stuff you're looking at, Trav, that got your attention? Any little mods that you like? When I unlock that,
I haven't dug a ton into mods yet, just because I'm still leveling up. I think I'm
Okay.
only like level 10 or whatever. But
Yeah.
yeah, I need to
Mhm.
need to take a look at those.
okay.
Yeah, I was like, I think I just opened that last column, but I haven't even.
You on the
got-
last? God damn.
Jotun's really good though, guys. My God.
Oh, I believe you. I'm on the last column. Like I've got 14 mods unlocked, but you need 14 to open the last column.
Right.
So I haven't even
Yeah.
experimented with those yet. I need one more to do that.
I gotta get back to it. No doubt. So wait, Trav, what's the loadout you running around with? What you running around with?
I have no real dedicated loadout right now. I'm trying to get the trespasser, exotic done
Catalyst,
for
yeah.
that.
Mhm.
I just finished the bow from last season that they had. What was that called?
Yeah.
Le Monarch. Le
Monarch.
Monarch. I just
Yes, the
finished
catalyst.
that catalyst. I finished that yesterday, and so I'm just sort of doing like star chores right now.
Yeah. You doing your homework. You doing your
yeah.
homework.
Sure.
Star chores. Yeah, so I'm just sort of getting all that stuff done, getting my red frames and all that, and trying out things. But
Alright.
yeah, I was using Callus Mini Tool for a while and Drain for a little bit. So
Okay. And I
trying
got one
things
more.
out.
I got one more question for you. I saw your tweet. So what is going on in PvP? I have not stepped foot in PvP yet. I heard there's some thoughts about special weapon economy.
Oh yeah.
What's going on? Break it down, bruh.
Yeah.
So we talked a couple weeks ago about how they keep changing their mind about special ammo. And as soon as PvP rolled out, the first comment I saw online was, yo, this new special ammo meta, all it does is make it so that the people who are good at PvP and stay alive don't have any special ammo, and the people who keep dying spawn back with special ammo, which is exactly what we thought it would do. We talked about this a couple weeks ago, and also what Bungie themselves has said was a problem in the past. They're like, oh, it doesn't feel great to kill the other player, and then they just keep getting special ammo. And so it sort of encourages like short lives, like you kill one guy, kill another guy, and then you let yourself get killed because you're getting destroyed by special ammo, and then you spawn with special ammo, and then you're able to fight back more aggressively. And that sort of, if you're doing sandbox design, isn't really what you want to do. So
Question though.
I guess
So
some
when
trials
you
will
kill
feel
now,
slower too. Just to guess.
so wait, I forgot because that them patch notes are so damn long. So now when you kill Trav, there's no green drop
you
off the
get
enemy
one
you kill.
max. Basically,
one
you
max.
get like enough to kill, which is usually one bullet. There might be 2 for a couple random things, like a glaive, maybe, because I think that takes 2 shots. But basically, everything is 1 for 1. Like, you get a shotgun kill, you get 1.
Yeah.
And
Scavengers
before it
don't
used to be
add.
like, oh, because the scavenger stuff. Yeah,
You're
right,
running
right.
out faster. You basically can't use a sniper rifle because you're never going to be able to recover the special ammo from the body. It limits what you actually use because you're probably going to be using a shotgun or a fusion. That way you can collect the special ammo right away, right? And it's got a weird like every match is kill confirmed now. It's like if you want that special ammo, you gotta go run and recover it from the body. Although a lot of times you'll kill them and they drop nothing because they didn't have any, and then it's just like this is the exact problem we had last time they did this. If I were making Destiny Sandbox, I would put special ammo on the map. You have to go and you pick it up.
Oh,
right?
like an arena. Yeah.
That's
Fight for it.
what
Control.
arena shooters do. Is they say, well, if you want something, you have to go and get it, which then encourages you to actually control the map, and then it rewards people who play well. But it doesn't let them just dominate. They have to continue succeeding at controlling the map if they want to keep the resources. And so that's how I would do it. But because Destiny says when you spawn you have special ammo, they're always going to have this problem. It's either the rich get richer and just keep stacking ammo, or the poor get richer, and then it encourages these really small lives where you get kills, and then when you run out of ammo, you get killed, and then you respawn. So it's not my favorite system.
Gotcha. And last question for E2. Do y'all think this is going to encourage, we're going to go back to the D1 days of like the sidearm, because people are like, yo, screw that. I'm bust out an SMG. Remember how the pendulum went the other way? It was so extreme with, special ammo resources that people would just like, screw it. It was like season of the sidearm. See, everybody was using sidearms and SMG just to combat that. Or is it not that serious, just annoying? Thoughts? Anyone?
What, like well, I mean, as you guys have basically said, it's sniper. I wonder if Trials is going to be like, people try and pick a couple times, see if they get that first shot. It's like, that probably will still feel about the same. Shotguns are probably going to be a little more usable there, I guess. Some people were going to be playing, there was like a little rendering hiccup bug. Are we good? Might have been a little glitch there. Sorry, no big deal.
Okay.
But it's I don't know. Like, from what I've heard, people are not a giant fan of what's going on. But
That's
also, it's like
okay.
Trials, you get some every time. And then they changed it to where after you die, you don't respawn with any more. Like, that gets stripped away. So Trials probably is going to feel somewhat similar. You get your couple shots. If you die, cool, next round, all right, good to go. But as you guys are saying, it's like it doesn't reward a good player, which is somewhat demoralizing for them. Because then they're like, well, now I'm just stuck with the primary. It gives the other player, it gives them some chances to, get a couple of those shots off per se, because the other person may not have them, but then they might just turn and go, okay, well, I'm going to be more successful with a shotgun because at least I'm close. I'm probably going to at least likely trade or get the kill, and then I can keep going. So it's going to probably change. It's going to push snipers even farther away, as Travis said. Shotguns and snipers are probably going to be the more reliable kill, especially if you're the more skilled player. The reliable ammo pickup as well, and they're just going to probably still hover around with the shots that they have. No, it's like, it would be interesting, the whole special ammo box is a little weird, but it'd be an interesting, this is what Crucible Labs could be for. Like, they're just like, hey, we're going to take away scavengers and just give you one. It's like, okay, well, what if we did, take each map and let you guys spawn through just a random playlist of, Crucible and Clash or whatever, and just put, special boxes that pop up every so often. You got to fight over them, as you said. That would probably be an interesting feeling just to compare it, just so we could be like, does this work? Does it not? Okay, cool. Check that box. But they don't ever use the Crucible Labs.
Yeah, they don't.
It's really sad.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Just
What's Crucible Labs?
What's that? I just wanted that answer.
Is that like guided games?
Which still technically
remember
exists.
that? Does that exist?
It's still, is it guided games, or is it just a raid
Guided
finder or whatever?
games.
Yeah, I think, because I remember, I think Jarv, I think he did a test where he left it running for, I think he finally found a group after 12 hours, and then they beat the raid, but it took him 12 hours to find a group for a raid using like the guided games thing. And he just was like, all right, here's the test. And he just left it going for like, finally hours later, I think he said he found a group. So
wow, that's crazy. I forgot it was still there.
Sounds like an
Okay.
exciting stream. It's riveting content right there. 12 hours of queuing.
Oh my
Beautiful.
god, I'm done.
Well, what else? I mean, my big question is tomorrow. Can an entire dungeon save a season that's very repetitive after like a couple days? No dungeon is going to be able to do that because depending on if you go for the crafting weapons or anything else, there's only so much you can do in that dungeon per week, probably. And if you do the story mission, and then the weird thing is you've got like so Travis, I wanted to see, have you wrapped your head around all the currencies at this point? You know how many we got to deal with? I'm sorry if you threw up a little in your mouth there. I apologize.
I have not wrapped my head around all of them, but I am acutely aware that there are more than 2 currencies.
So there's like the vestige of dread.
They did remove some of the crafting currencies.
Crafting got normalized a little bit. There's still 5, but there's not 12, so it's a little better.
Mhm.
But yeah, so you get the vestiges of dread, which you like deposit in the Nightmare Harvester. The Nightmare Harvester can give you the bound presence, and then if you get the bound presence, you have to go replay the entire story mission to cash that in. That's a weird one to me, because that's just like, hey, here's a chance at something for you to go play another activity to get the loot in there, as opposed to, hey, here's a chance at another drop when you've probably already, because you're guaranteed your first one each week. So you go through, do your 3 tiers, get your guaranteed first drop, and then you turn around and go do the story mission. Cool. But to like give you a reason to go back into the story mission again, I guess it's not bad for a little exploration if you miss like the robot or a bobblehead. But outside of that, you're not going to need to go experience. Because I went through, again, I had 2 of them, and you can turn more than one in at the same time. At least they did that. Because if it was going to be like play it like 3 times to turn in all 3, I was like, that ain't right. But even just to go back and turn them in again later was odd, to say the least.
No, I feel you. Yeah, I don't know. My only issue is I just struggle with like, because let me ask you, 'cause you're ahead of everybody. Are you able to umbral focus at the Crown of Sorrow thing in the helm?
So you can get 4 of those figments of darkness.
Right.
Yeah, and I've done 4 of them. The next column will allow you to focus into the opulent, and then I think it's the 5th column is going to be focusing the haunted weapons. The opulent's going to come first, and that's most of this is like theoretically, if I get up to rank 16 this week, like if I grind that public event out enough, I could get the one last figment that's there, and I could start focusing. Otherwise, I would imagine we're giving it 1 with the weekly quest, and then 1 from a seasonal challenge, and we'll probably be doing that to unlock them. So it's mostly there's a little like grinding you can do, but I imagine if you prestige the crown, you're not going to be getting 3 more figments in there. I think it's just like, if I get that last one at 16, that grind's done.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing it is still fairly time gated. So like, you're not even going to be grinding. You're going to be a few weeks into the season just to start focusing the opulent weapons.
That's what I wanted to do. Yeah.
Bury me in currencies, Bungie. Bury me. Just do it. Slide me into the coffin, my wet body.
I finally figured out a t-shirt design for you. So we've got a guy in a suit covered in all of the currencies that Destiny has to offer. And it's like, and he's got like the shoes connected to a suit, and there's like a tie laying on the ground. And he looks like the Wizard of Oz, or the Wicked Witch that got smashed by the house, but he's just smashed with the pile of currencies. That's Travis.
There it is. Love it. Love it. Let's get it exact.
I'll be a corpse next to the campfire, is what you're telling me.
No, that's not
Cheetah corpse.
But the corpse still has a tie on. He's still dressed well.
That explains why you guys are at the campfire. You went out into the woods to bury me because I died. There's this whole story now. We got a narrative to the logo of the last word.
I'm done, and this is morbid. It's a truly season of the haunted.
That got a little dark. What's up, Blackwings? You're here for the wrap. You're here for the wrap up of the show, so just in time to catch the ending.
Yeah.
Okay, so we know nothing about the dungeon besides. Have you looked in the collections at the weapons?
I have not.
They look really good.
Oh, matter of fact, I've seen them. Yeah, I did see
armor, not so much, but the
armor
weapons
on the other
fire.
hand, the weapons look fantastic. The armor is like Hake's goodwill.
Oh no, we back on that again?
It's like the Daito set from Prophecy when, it could look like the giant fire skulls that we got, and we're getting like Hake's utility armor. It's like it's like in Guardians of the Galaxy when they have, I cannot remember the name of his ship, of Star-Lord's ship, and then it's when they're in the Celestial's head and they have those little industrial drones. It's like that. They're functional. It's technically armored, but his ship's much flyer looking. So it's like it's like I've heard people worry or wonder, did they like swap it out? Did they put the cool armor for the dungeon in Eververse and then give you a Hake set in the dungeon? And it's like, unless there's a reason this set thematically makes sense, but I'm sorry, give me the fly set in the dungeon, or give me a fly set in the dungeon and a fly set in Eververse. But it can't be Eververse is the coolest thing in the world, and the dungeon, which you could, and you go work for, is,
dog water.
Yeah, that's the word.
Yeah.
If you ever need a negative word,
no, I've heard that's the new thing to say. That's the hip thing to say, and it gets around all the worries of not saying the wrong things. So, I'm excited to play the dungeon. I
give it 3 months till it's considered a hate crime to say dog water.
Probably, yeah. It's not going to be too long.
It won't be long.
I've been going back. I've actually been recently going back and watching George Carlin, some stuff of his recently, because they came out with his 2-part special on HBO. So there's a huge special on George Carlin. If you ever like his stuff,
I watched it.
His stuff, I haven't watched it all yet, but man, like I grew up loving his comedy, and some of that stuff from 25 years old is relevant today. Like if you ever want to go, I will recommend George Carlin to anybody. It's like, yeah, he's gonna have some language in there, but that is one of his fascinations, is language, and enjoy it. So I was like, that's what I've been like watching a little bit tidbits here in the background when I've been aimlessly grinding stuff out on the Leviathan. So, but no, I'm hyped for the dungeon.
Yeah,
they're usually my favorite pieces of content. So my hope is that it lives.
Solo it day one.
I'll usually.
If I don't get a day one solo from Ebantis,
He's like, I don't know. He's like, now we're just going to kick the cheat out of the campfire. Just going to see me walking away. I'll probably run through it first with Black.
We've covered this, but anyway,
he's messy. What you gonna do?
I'll probably run with Black Rings and New Rad first, just to get a feel for it, just to run through, get the encounter, have multiple people with you. Then I'll turn around and probably try and solo it, and then work on a guide for understanding it. But yeah, the first time through, are Titans any good if I can't solo it? I never said Titans are good. If you're gonna solo something, go run a Warlock, please.
For sure.
That's easy mode.
Oh, we doing that again?
I will. I will just tell you, like, Devour is hard to match when it comes to doing stuff by yourself. There's a reason solo players that I've seen, multiple like content creators stuff, when they go do something first, they typically go Warlock. Then they'll go back and they'll do it on the Hunter or the Titan later. First one they're going to try it on, almost always Warlock.
I mean, the superior class. I mean, it's just, you got to do what you got to do.
So then own it. Don't like try and be like, oh, you're going to throw that at me, and be like, yeah, we the best. Start there, as opposed to having to ease into it. Own the greatness that is Devour and staying alive the more you kill stuff. So
yeah, that Void 3.0 is fire.
Yeah, Hunter's invisibility too. So yeah, that's the other side of solo. Did I say the triumphs for the dungeon? I have not looked that far into it yet. I'll probably explore that a little bit. But yeah, first week, I want to see what changes next week.
That's where I'm at.
But I have concerns about the longevity of outside of Tuesday story of what, because it seems like it might be 6 weeks, maybe 7, roughly for the story, depending on triumphs and stuff. There's like 6 automatons to listen to. There's probably 7 for the story that you go through for the book. So 7 weeks will probably be about half the season. And then outside of that, yeah, we're just going to have to see. I'm excited for the dungeon. Those are always very fun. I've spent a lot of time in the last couple of days playing this, but again, even for a casual player, they're probably going to see some of the repetition sooner than they might in, say, PsyOps Battlegrounds, and then go doing. I feel like PsyOps were just longer to go through.
Yeah,
and then we knew we had 3 of those. If this doesn't get a rotation, it's gonna be one of those things when because we've had a lot of like
the boss will be different.
If he's standing in the same place though, it's gonna be kind of sad.
All I got to add is my focus is the Iron Lord title, baby.
That's next week. That's next week.
Woo! I
My
got
focus
3 of
is
7.
playing
I
Rift.
expect you to have that title
Going down.
before the
I got-
podcast.
Bro, I might. I'm not even going. I might. Whatever. I think all the harder stuff. I got all the seasonal. I got like 3 or 4 steps already done proactively. They gave it. I was like, oh, I'm ready. And then the rest is just like play. It's just like continue to play. Oh, it's going down, man. I saw those. I can't wait to have that over my name. Woo! Can't wait. That's my goal. I got my little fragment stuff I want to do. But yeah, I'm with you. I just got to see. I got to see what they do long term, because if not, then it'll be season of the finishing of the games. You know what I'm saying? But I like it. I'm having fun, and we just want to see where they go. But the story is what's keeping me right now. Trav.
Yeah, I'm like I said, I'm not loving it, but I'm going to I'm gonna keep playing. I'm excited to try the dungeon. I'm excited to try Rift. Did get a new Crucible map, which I don't think I've gotten that to show up in queue yet. Actually, I definitely haven't. So I guess I need to get around to doing that. And yeah, and COG, don't worry. You got easy mode on your Warlock character, but he got easy mode in real life. So, it balances itself out.
He's messy today. He's all over the place.
Travis
He's super messy today.
Messy is, that's fitting. I don't usually say messy, but Travis, I think, fits that one today.
Sorry,
we got Iron Banner coming. We got that.
Rift.
Yeah, we got Rift coming, and then as Blackwing was saying, it's like the story is kind of what I'm here for at this point. I'm here for the story. There's the one line. I don't know if you guys heard the one where Eris tells you about her ghost.
Yes.
Man, that one hit. That hit like I saw it on Twitter, and then I listened to it, and I was like, damn.
Yeah, she's been a comforting thing.
She also said she's a new witch.
Yes.
Yeah, so I have wonders about that as well. So again, I'm here for the story. It's just like if we do a public event for 13 weeks, that's gonna kind of hurt.
Yeah, and then will they do what they did with Season of Risen, where they kind of cut the story in the middle and just let us rock, and then it's over? I'm very curious to see how they handle it.
6-7 weeks. So I mean, you're still gonna have however many left of. You're gonna have at least half the season of. I mean, there's not a raid. There's not difficulties coming for the raid. So I mean, those things aren't coming in this season. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I would imagine you're gonna have some backlog time. Yeah, feels like it. So, at least
love it.
See how it goes.
Love it.
Well, that's about all I got. I just got the really bad news that my advanced CG order got damaged for the second time.
Your powder?
Yeah.
Wow. You got ripped off by a rival cartel. They stole your powder.
Yeah, the UPS. Yeah, somebody at UPS.
They're hitting your trucks.
Yeah, one of the delivery drivers must be like a different partner, and they're like, "No, I'm taking away his sales or something." No, it's just
game us up. Say, I gotta stop, man. It's war. We're going to war.
Going to war. Yeah, they keep hitting your trucks. You gotta get back, man.
I have been waiting for this order. Like I got, it's the one. It was delivered. 4/5 of it was not in the package last time. I got a package delivered that was open.
Oh no, they out here sniffing the powder before you get the product.
I can't wait for the scene where the Advanced GG headquarters, it's a bunch of people working in their underwear on the line. Get it?
That is classic. Okay, shout out to the CEO. Shout out to the CEO. His name's Peter. He's on Twitter. But shout out to him. If somebody like photoshops a picture of him in front of the big pile of powder, like in Scarface, it's over. Yeah,
that's stupid.
But no, I was getting more hydration and then a new flavor as well. And I've been trying to try. Oh, I'm so annoyed. So yeah, it got like damaged and was being returned to center. I'm pissed. So I was like, because it was supposed to be delivered today, and I was like, why is it not happen? Why is it not happen? Then I finally was like, I checked and really annoyed. So anyway, there is a buy one get one sale going on. Literally buy one jar, get one completely 100% off, which is probably one of their bigger sales that they ever do. So if you guys do want to use that, use code Ironlord, use code Ebontis. It's for the long weekend that we've got going on. So, but that's about all I got. I think tomorrow's going to be, going to either make or break some of the grade for this season, though.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. They need a strong one, otherwise this seasonal ranking will go down for sure. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, for me, Same old. Actually, before I get into the beat, Trav, what you got going? What's going on with you?
Why don't you go first, man?
Okay.
Yeah, I don't gotta go.
All right,
You
cool.
do it.
Just want to be friendly.
Do your thing.
No, for me, it's just like, obviously, Duke is outside, so shout out to Maddie. Got another episode out there talking about all the madness of Twitter and
So cancel
everyone
Game Pass.
canceling,
Is that the one I just saw?
publicly announcing things, and so we get into all that, and it was a fun, spicy show. Shout out to him. I did an ultimate with Addict, so that was fun. We broke down the Halo TV series episode by episode, Travis.
Boy, oh boy. That sounds like a
How much of a
devastating time, an exercise in nihilistic tendencies.
I can't for Addict made it so entertaining. Like it was fun listening to him go off on certain things. So that was cool. And then Sunday will be the Lord's Day. I think we got Ricari coming through, so that should be good. Check us out on Sunday. That should be fun. And then the countdown to my brothers very soon. We're approaching GCX soon. I got to take care of my COVID business, which I found out thanks to E.
I'll bring one for you, man.
Yeah, I was like, I got plenty as well, so we're good.
Yeah, so just in case, my boys got me on the backup, but I am looking forward to it. And that's pretty much all that's going on with me. What about you, Trav? What's going on? Any new reviews? Any new things we working on?
Yeah, I got lots of content. My review, I think I already talked about my review of Evil Dead. That was a while ago. That's the latest review I've gotten. We're waiting for June games to start coming out before I do more reviews. I'd done a bunch of previews. I did a preview of Roller Champions, which is a free-to-play roller derby sports game where you're rolling around and dunking a ball through a hoop, and it's super stupid and fun. It's free, so you can play that. And then I've got a couple previews I can't talk about and some other content I'm working on. I also made a 13 tips video that should be live tomorrow. So if you are playing Evil Dead the game and you want pro tips from a guy who's played way too much of that game, highly recommend watching that video.
Nice.
And I think I'm going to start doing Zur weekly videos. I don't know why. This Zur thing, just apparently people love clicking on Zur stuff because every week
You're getting enough traffic from the articles.
They're like, Travis, you need to make more of Zur. The internet, the algorithm loves Zur for some reason. So
your guys' SEO is big enough. You're probably killing it. Yeah.
Apparently weird. Other than that, I'm really excited.
You're just stealing all my views, so just think every video.
You want to talk about a drug war?
Stab in my back.
It's the Zur war right now.
That's why I've got to give you shout outs now because I'm going to be doing.
Steal my job? Yeah, that's fine. When my channel collapses, I'll just apply to
his territory.
Come on my channel, man. We'll do Let's Plays.
There you go.
Anyway,
1v1 and PvP, and then you can just school me. Travis teaches Ibantis how to play PvP.
I'd love to, man. I'd love to. Other than that, I'm really excited for GCX. You can watch episodes of Bitcast every Sunday where I argue with a lawyer and talk to a man who's rapidly decaying into the form which we will all soon meet, death. And buy some powder from these guys. Use the code Narcos at checkout for a discount.
Narcos.
You should be good.
Just for all of the law enforcement out there, we're talking about advanced GG. Just to be clear. Gonna have a knock on my door after the episode and be like, "Sir, we need to talk."
This is my long con to SWAT.
When I'm getting served of a warrant in here, be like, "We've got a search warrant." I feel like all the powders in here, you can test everything. You want to know a hilarious thing? Actually, so I told you guys last week I was gonna go visit my brother in Austin, and I did, and I took some Focus down there in my backpack. I got full-on searched because of that.
That's amazing.
No, I don't know if
moving the weight across state lines, baby.
I'm in-state lines.
In-state lines,
no,
baby.
But it was
Let's go.
So I don't know. It's like I forgot one of those little individual peanut butter things that you could take. So that may have been like what caused the X-ray. And then they searched it and they're like, what are these? I took like 4 jars because I wanted my brother to try a couple.
You took the powder out of the Focus jar and put it into another jar?
No, they were in these. They were in the jar. But I had 4 of them in there and he opened them up, smelled them all. But they did like the little swab on the side and they put it in the machine. It's like, we've got an alarm. I'm like, I literally had to do like a
Sure,
full.
that's advanced GGE.
They had to do the full literal neck down, back of the
Are you
hands
serious?
over the crotch pad.
Did they stop? They pull you off the line and put you in a little room?
100%, not in the room, but I'm just sitting there, like the guy's like going, arms and everything. Okay, I'm gonna use back of my hands, literally just straight back and forth across my crotch. I was like, what is happening right now?
And then after he gets through security, it cuts to a scene of Ebontis in the bathroom, and he's reopening the jar, and he reaches into the powder and pulls out a smaller baggie inside the powder, hidden underneath the color. He's like, they never works every time.
And that's the end of the episode.
That's the end of the episode. That's
all right, well, thank you guys for being here.
amazing.
So that was a fun little adventure. But very excited for GCX. If you guys are coming, find us. I'll be wearing my shirt. I never got a shirt made because the one time I went down that path, it's just absolute train wreck. There may be a weird shirt design that gets posted at some point for me. If you guys ever want to buy a weird looking cheetah t-shirt, it's probably going to happen. Well, okay, there's one that I'm actually kind of okay posting because it was like a cool cheetah. The second one that happened was a trash fire, and I will never sell that one. But one of them was okay. The other one that happened after I'd like, hey, can you tweak a couple of things? And the artist like redid the entire thing and made it worse. I was like, oh no. Okay, so we're done. But yeah,
The
you
rise
guys.
and fall of the cheetah. Yo, they chat is hilarious.
Yeah, chat's on fire tonight.
Tips, guides, Zer videos, and Cartel King fan. So listen, this is definitely the last episode of the last.
Yeah, this
That's how we
was
should
the
have the
last
show.
episode.
This has been
the
last
last
episode.
This has been.
Yeah, this has been the last episode of the last word. Yeah, we just couldn't make it to 200. Everything fell apart right there at 199.
We didn't make it. We got so close. Oh,
Episode 200 is a live stream from the courthouse.
I can't.
The actual last word is the verdict. No, I'm just kidding.
Last word is guilty.
All right. Well, thank you guys. Chat's been on fire. All of you guys out there, wherever you watch this on YouTube, on Iron Lord Cognito's channel, on Ebontis' channel. If you listen to us in your ears, take us with you on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, all the other podcast platforms. Leave us a good review, drop a like on the video, share it with your friends if they like Destiny, and let them know it gets a little crazy in the end. But thank you guys very much for getting us all the way to 199. I've got some plans for 200. Not sure if that's happening now or maybe a little bit later, but we'll do a cool episode coming up soon when things come together. But all of you guys have been amazing. Chat has been awesome. My co-hosts, I couldn't do this without you guys. So shout out to coming up on 200. All of you are amazing. And for this episode, it has been
The last word.